This is my last hive inspection of 2024, and it may determine if I'm even a beekeeper going into 2025. Coming into early winter, bee activity will slow way down. There's hardly any nectar sources out there right now, so their current health and their current honey stores will determine if they even live until the springtime. Today's inspection is especially important. 6 weeks ago, I had to treat this dragon hive for the second time for the varroa mite infestation that it has. So we're going to open it up, take out that treatment, and hopefully those varroa mites have been conquered. Unfortunately, 6 weeks ago, I also discovered varroa mites on the phoenix hive over there. So we're gonna open that up, take the treatment off that as well, and hopefully there's no more varroa mites. It really matters that both of these hives have very low varroa mite counts going into the winter. I'm not going to be able to treat them anymore this year, so whatever they have right now is what they're going to have throughout the winter. At least we see some good bee activity here on the dragon hive. There's a couple of dead bees in the front, and they're not drones, so I'm not really sure what that's about, but we'll open it up and see. I've been here about 10 minutes now, and this phoenix hive has had 0 bees at the entrance. That is really not a good sign, so of course I'm nervous about it. Oh man, a bunch more dead bees in the top. Man, that's really not good. Well, the outer frames are empty. That's not much change from last time. All right, we got some decent honey out of that one. That's not too bad. The honey stores for the dragon hive look pretty good. So I think at least food-wise, they'll survive the winter. All right, let's take the super off where they keep the honey. We need to go to the bottom where the treatment is. What you think? You gonna sting me? Or what? Taking the treatment off is as simple as just pulling these up. Because this is the last inspection of the year, I need to make sure that, number one, these bees have enough honey to last the winter, which this dragon hive, I think it does. Number two, that the queen still exists. Hopefully we'll find that out soon. And number three, that they're reasonably healthy, which I'm going to do with a varroa mite test. See, there's quite a lot of honey even down in the base. I'll keep looking because I want to see some indicator that the queen is doing okay. And also, I need to find a frame that I'm going to test for varroa mites. Surprisingly, there's actually some nectar going on in here. I don't know where they're getting it from. I don't see any flowers around. All right, this is terrible news. You can see this little bee right here, hopefully. It has little stubby yellow pieces instead of wings. That's called deformed wing virus. Bees are susceptible to this, especially when they have a varroa mite infestation. Their immune system goes way down. And, you know, if a bee doesn't have wings, it can't go out and forage. It can't leave the hive at all. So that's really not a good sign. Here's another one over here. Oh man, there's a handful. There's another one. This is terrible. Oh. These cells right here, these are larvae. So I guess it's good that there is signs of larvae, signs of a queen, but I really hope that deformed wing virus doesn't severely impact the health of this hive. They're all over. There's some more brood on there. You can see these cells in the back, but also some more bees with deformed wing virus right there. Oh, I see I see quite a few of them actually. Kind of cool. Oh, there's a little bee hopping out right now, getting born. Look at that. Climbing out. You could do it, bee. Oh, look at that. That's cool. Watching a bee get born. And thankfully, that particular bee didn't have deformed wing virus. But I just see too many of them on here. I see brood, but I don't see a queen. Right here, you can see this is a queen cup. And I'm looking inside. I don't know if you can see that. There's stuff in there. It almost looks like there's an egg in there too. It's really hard to see. I don't know if that means they're replacing my queen. You might think that dead bees in the bottom of the hive are a terrible thing, but I know that I've had varroa mites and I have seen some bees with deformed wing virus, so this might be the hive's way of cleaning house and, reducing the infections. This could be very good for the health of the hive if they're removing the larva that has been infected with varroa mites or deformed wing virus. You can see some larvae in there, so I do know the queen's around even though I haven't seen her yet. It's very hard to see in there, but I have seen all stages of the bee from the egg to the larva and capped brood as well. So I know my queen's in there somewhere and she's doing okay. So there's good indicators. I just haven't found her yet. You can see this bee right here has deformed wing virus. The wings are not really fully formed. They look a little bit clipped and yellow. It's not a good indicator. Okay, I'm not going to spend any more time looking for my queen. I have the indicators that she exists and she's laying. And even going into winter, it seems to be like she's laying quite a bit. Usually they slow down a lot during the winter, but they still seem to be growing. So I'm going to put this back and I'm going to do my varroa mite test. Bees didn't like that. Calm down. Alright, so I went through my frames and I think my queen is probably somewhere on these two. That's where there's the most number of eggs and larvae. So I think that's probably where she's going to be. I'm going to use this frame, which still has brood, which is a good one to test for varroa mites. Our trusty container. Alcohol goes in. Put it in the basket. We're going to set it up so we can shake some bees in there. You don't like this. Shake it up. There's about 200 bees in there, give or take. Now we have to check the bottom to see how many varroa mites fell off. I saw about 7 varroa mites out of 200 bees. That's high. It's not the end of the world, but it's pretty high. I'm going to close this up. The bees pooped on me. I'm done feeding them until the springtime, so I'm going to keep this feeder off. I've been here over 30 minutes and this Phoenix hive still has no bee activity in the front. I'm really afraid to open it. It's really quiet. Okay, couple bees. Let's see how their honey looks. Okay. I don't know why these bees are so slow. Look at them. It's like they're slow motion. But there's a lot of honey here. Goodness. Goodness, a lot of honey. But they're so slow. Okay, this is really heavy. They really have a lot of honey. Oh my goodness. So I'm not worried about this hive as far as honey goes. They'll have enough food for the winter. But they're acting kind of strange. I don't know what that's about. Again, this is my first year as a beekeeper. This could be completely normal for what we're seeing going up to winter. But the dragon hive was not like this. It was very active. Well, I checked all the frames in the super, and most of them have a ton of honey. So I'm not at all concerned about their honey stores, which is kind of ironic because it wasn't long ago that I stole honey from the dragon hive over there to give to this phoenix hive. Now we're going to take off the super, check the brood box. We're going to take off the apivar strips and check for varroa mites, because these bees are acting very lethargic, which is concerning. And the last time I was here, they had a relatively high mite count. There's no bee activity in the front, but there's actually quite a few bees here. I don't really know what that's about. Okay, even in the brood box, there is a ton of honey. They are not going to go hungry. Let's take these apivar strips out. We're going to go hunting for our queen, or indications that I still have a queen. Honey. Honey. Man, if you bees don't like this, just wait until I test you for varroa mites. Oh, there's the queen. Look at that. You were hiding on me last time. Hi, queen. Whoop. Oh, I see a little bit of larva. You know, if the bees move out of the way, you can sometimes see some larvae in there. So, that's one thing off the checklist. We got a queen, and she's active and doing her job. And we have to remember that this one, this River Valley one, this is where our queen is. So we're gonna look real quick at this frame just to see if there's any brood, which there really isn't. And then I'm gonna use this black frame for the varroa mite test, which is reasonably close to the brood, but there really is no other brood. This up there. So any bees that we shake go down. Alright, let's close that up. Man, why don't they like getting killed? Give that a shake. Let's see. About 300 bees in there. I know that because there's a line indicator. The top line is 300, the one below it is 2. And that's important because we got to do some math to figure out our varroa mite infestation rate. Again, we're looking at the bottom. You can see those little brown dots in the bottom. There are a lot of them. That's not good. I mean, I literally can't even count them. There's so many, I can't count them. That's a really bad thing. I was worried about the bee activity at the front before. Not anymore. Okay, let me close this up. Oh, the bees really want me now. Oh, they really want me now. Look at all them bees. Angry. Trying to sting me right there. Let's close this up. Ooh, 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 ooh. There's just one more thing that I need to do before I clean up and pack up for the 2024 beekeeping season. I want to make sure that these hives are very stable for the next several months because I'm not going to be coming out here for them. So I'm going to turn those blocks on the side. Another commenter gave me that recommendation because they had a bad experience of their hives toppling over. I definitely don't want that. So I'm going to put them on their side to give them a little bit more stability. And to do that, I have to take the hives off of the stands here and then adjust the stand itself. Spicy! Spicy, spicy. Chill. Well, if I wanted bee activity, I got bee activity. Oh boy. Oh, okay. If I don't get stung, it's a miracle. Goodness. Yes. Yes, bees. Yes, bees. Ooh. Yes, bees. Goodness gracious. Oh. Alright, let's get this done. Another thing is, I'm going to switch this hive entrance to the small side because it's getting to be winter. This is unpleasant. Really unpleasant. I don't think they like that. Some beekeepers recommend only getting the small boxes, and some of them recommend 8 frames. And now I understand why. These things are heavy. Well, I'm all done for today. I'm really happy that I finally got around to moving these hives a little bit forward. I always kind of had my back into the trees and stuff. And also, my one subscriber that recommended flattening, lowering the blocks so that these don't easily topple over. Great idea. So I'm really happy that these feel a lot more stable and that I'm more prepared for spring of 2025. Unfortunately, there's some really bad news when it comes to both of these hives. I measured about 7 mites in the dragon hive for about 200 bees. That's 3.5% infestation. It's, you know, it's not okay, but not terrible. But much worse is this phoenix hive now. Almost uncountable number of varroa mites. I would estimate 20 or 22, somewhere around there is what I saw for about 300 bees. So that's 7% plus infestation rate. Not good at all. Also, unfortunately, I'm done for the year. So there's no more to be done about these 2 hives. I'm gonna let these hives be and just cross my fingers that they're able to resolve this varroa mite infestation. I also did see in the dragon hive, I saw deformed wing virus, which usually occurs when you have a varroa mite infestation. So I don't know what it's going to be like for the phoenix hive. I didn't see them on there, so that's good. but it could really impact the health of the hive. I'm just really hopeful that they're going to survive the winter time and that I'll see them all again nice and healthy in spring of 2025. Luckily, both of these hives have sufficient honey stores, especially and surprisingly the Phoenix hive, which a couple of times I have taken honey from the dragon hive just to make sure that they have enough, and now they're just exploding with honey. So I'm really hopeful that they're going to turn around, and in the spring of 2025 I'm going to have loads of honey to share with all my family and friends. Also, one really good thing about today, I had 1 billion bees surrounding me. Look at all of them. When I first got here, there were 0 bees in the entrance and I was terrified that this beehive was going to be totally empty. Well, I opened it up and they went crazy. They were just swarming all over top of me. And while I appreciate their exuberance and their energy, I kind of wish that they wouldn't climb all over me. Now, I know I'm not done here because I still need to clean up and I'm still near the bees, but don't tell them they haven't stung me yet, despite all this stuff going on. That's it for 2024 beekeeping season for me. My name is Chris, and I'll see you next time on Faewood Acres.